Farr. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, George Miller, for setting aside this time. You've heard from a lot of my colleagues. I think what is interesting about this moment in history is this is probably the largest retirement ever of any delegation at any one time. California is losing 25% of its incumbent delegation, 7 Republicans and 7 Democrats. That's 14 people that have been here, and of the 7 Democrats, they were here for historical moments of electing Nancy Pelosi from California, the first woman Speaker of the House of Representatives, and here to pass the first in history comprehensive health care bill, led by Californians, I might add, and led by the dean of our delegation, Pete Stark. Pete Stark is one of the oldest, longest-serving members of Congress, been here 40 years. I think there's only 2, 3 people that are served here longer, and he's watched this delegation come and go since 1973. He's here tonight with his beautiful family, and it's a wonderful, interesting. Pete, of all the people coming into Congress, is the only one that just came right from the private sector. Most of us got elected to local and state governments, but Pete came right here, right out of, with a background in MIT in engineering, and then a degree from Berkeley in business administration. In 1963, he founded the Security National Bank of Walnut Creek, which became, during the war years, known as the Progressive Bank, and the bank that was going to loan to people that weren't otherwise getting loans. And he became a very popular leader in his community, built the bank into a $1 billion financial institution, having a background in the Air Force and other civic activities. He ran for Congress and got elected, and has been here, as I said, for 40 years, and he's here tonight with his children. He also has 4 daughters and 3 sons and 8 grandchildren, and married to Deborah Roderick, also of California. So we're going to miss Pete. He's been a stature for this Congress through all the big issues. Followed also by Howard Berman from Southern California, background in UCLA and a law degree from UCLA. I was a staff member when he was a California state legislator. He came there for the background in Vista, and after the Assembly got elected to the House, and has been the leading ranking Democrat, probably the most trusted person in all of Congress for foreign affairs, and with his background in labor and the issues for farm workers in California and the advancement they've made under federal law. But also, as the speaker pointed out, as the leader pointed out, he's one of the few persons that really understands the intricacies of patent law, copyright, trademark, all those things very vitally important to the entertainment industry and the manufacturing, electronics industry, and information technology industry. He's just been a senior member on all that. So we're going to miss him deeply, deeply. I feel like a son of Howard Berman. I supported his speakership way back in when he ran for the state assembly, and I'm going to miss him. Lynn Woolsey's 10 terms, senior to me. I got elected 6 months after Lynn got sworn into office. I remember how proud I was of her background in local government, in roles that she's played in Sonoma County and Marin County. She's been, I think, on the floor speaking more than anybody else. It's pointed out 440 times speaking for peace. She's going to leave this body known as the Lady of Peace, and will be here in history forever and ever. And I remember the night that Bill Clinton gave the State of the Union address and recognized the backgrounds and humble and unusual backgrounds that people get here, that Lynn Woolsey was the first woman elected to Congress who, as a single mom, had to be on welfare, and how she'd worked her way out of that, and this was a leading role to show that there are opportunities for all people in this great country, but the Lady of Peace is the most important of all. Bob Filner, background in local government, went back to local government after being involved in school districts, is now the mayor of San Diego, but he came here with his background of being a freedom fighter and civil rights movement, and led the Veterans Committee here. And as we pointed out, Joe Baca will always be known as the captain of our baseball team, and how he did so well in and that, but he also had a proud background, as the Speaker said, in the Air Force and as a paratrooper. And the list goes on and on. Laura Richardson's leaving us, and I also mentioned that before this early resignation of Dennis Cardoza. So that's 7 Democrats. We're going to miss them greatly. Thank you for allowing me to speak in favor of their great service to the United States.